Grace be unto you and peace from God our Father and from the Lord Jesus Christ. I was glad when they said to me, let us go into the house of the Lord. I'm Father Steve Sellers, and thank you so much for joining me on my YouTube channel today for this brief daily message of hope and inspiration. I hope and pray that your day is off to a good start. Your week has been going well, and that you're entering the weekend, this first weekend in June, with energy and enthusiasm and with joy. And if not, welcome to the club. Maybe we can help each other out. As a matter of fact, that's why God has placed us here, to help each other out, to lift each other up, to encourage one another, to hold each other accountable, to lift each other up in prayer, so that we can be a positive influence in this world. That little song I was playing, I learned it right after it was released in March of 1968. It was a song by the Troggs, not a very popularly known group, but a very, very good rock group. This was a song called Love Is All Around. It came out in March of 1968, and it was sort of typified a lot of the love music, love songs that were going around, the sentimentality that was coming across, and the expressions of love. And so much of that had to do with the Summer of Love from 1967 that was coming out in response to a war that we were engaged in on the other side of the world. I was learning to play that song on my guitar in early April of 1968 when Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated. That was a devastating moment in my life and for us, and it still has repercussions today. Dr. King being a man of peace, who studied at the feet of Mohandas Gandhi, and would not lift a hand to strike a blow, even when he was being struck with blows unjustly. He worked and rallied for nonviolent demonstrations and non-cooperation, just as Gandhi did. But I was struck with that song. It came to my mind this morning because I realized this is June the 5th. And June the 5th is a sad day in United States history. This was the day in that same year, 1968, a presidential election year, when the person who was likely to be the next president of the United States in 1968 was shot and killed in California. This was the day that Robert Kennedy, late today, was shot and killed, June the 5th, 1968. He died the next day, June the 6th. But he had just won the California Democratic primary and was on his way literally to winning the nomination for his party for the election in November. That was the election that brought us Richard Nixon. But it's another sad day for us, and it just strikes me that so many people today are urging and praying and pleading for peace. And peace comes with a price. Peace is always the harder way out. It's anger and violence and hatred that's the easy way out. But to work for peace, you have to work for reconciliation. And in the Christian faith, that's what we're all about. We are ambassadors of reconciliation for Christ in a world that doesn't recognize the peaceful way of living. We probably more than ever before are living in a divided time, although our nation has always been divided. There's never been unanimity of opinion, but we don't agree that we have to be unanimous in our opinions on things. We're free to have our own opinions. We're not free to impose those opinions as the rule of law on others, and we're not free to violently force our opinions on others. Everyone's allowed an opinion in our country, and so many of us are praying for peace. And we know that peace comes from the Lord. And my simple message today is that Jesus is the Prince of Peace. He came to bring his peace to us, to put his peace and his joy in our hearts. And we desperately need that. More and more people that I talk to are getting very distressed over the anger that we're feeling. Well, in the world we will have tribulation. Jesus gave us that promise from John chapter 16. In the world you will have tribulation. There will be anger and violence and hard times. But then Jesus also said, fear not, for I have overcome the world. Today, as you're preparing for the weekend, Remember to breathe deeply, to slow down, let your mind calm down, get away from the 24-hour news cycle, and know that we're on an eternal news cycle. And the news is good. Jesus came to bring us the news that he's with us always, and he's with you always. Don't despair. Don't fear. Turn to him and know that he's with you. And that little song by the Troggs says, "Love is all around." It was talking about a different kind of love back in 1968, but really there's only one kind of love, and it all comes from the Lord Jesus, poured out for us on the cross. That love is all around us. May you experience his love and his joy today. He's right there with you. Let him love you. God bless you.